Hello, everybody, and welcome to another video of me building Big Ben. So all I really did in this video was build the clock and start doing the other sides to match, which I'll obviously finish off in the next video. So this is actually doing very well. For some reason, building Buckingham Palace didn't go as well. Probably because it's obviously a billion times bigger, but then this is bigger as well. I am also like getting a bit worried about the height because it's already pretty high and I don't want to reach like the maximum height you can build to before building the top. So I'm slightly worried, but I feel like you can go quite high in Minecraft without it doing too much, and I feel like this is an okay height, and if not then I'll just shorten it slightly. But yeah, I actually did really well in this video in my opinion, because like when I really got into building the clock it was really good. Like you can completely tell it's a clock, although I had some trouble building the clock hands because I was going to use banners, but then when I went to build a cross the banners didn't work. See, I built up 12 but then I changed it after that to 20 because so I look at it for a while and then I'm like, that's way too small. Which is right, it was very much too small because it fit just the right amount at 20 blocks. So I was originally at 12, so I added a few more blocks to get to 20 on each corner, and then I did it with the back too, and did it so it all went across in a big like cube, and then I started doing the actual clock faces after this, which was quite a lot easier than I thought it would be. In my head I was like, building a clock's going to be so awkward, but it was actually alright. And I also was like just making it up as I went along, so it's also interesting how it ended up being okay even though I just made it up. And yeah, that's pretty successful. And this video was like the same exact length as the last one, but it went so quick because I was just building, and yeah, I think it was pretty well. I did have to change these blocks to full blocks and not half slabs because the half slabs didn't let me build on top of them, which is an annoying thing that you'd think Minecraft would have thought about, but clearly not. So I got rid of them and added oak full blocks, and then I started building I went up another oak at the side because at the picture I was looking at it looked like the edges were like thicker, and yeah, I'm pretty sure and then I did the gold around the edge, and I didn't know if to use actual gold or if to use just a yellow block, so I spent some time looking at the actual block and ended up using gold and terracotta. So yeah, I used gold for all the way through the outside because that's kind of how it looked, although on the actual picture it is like there's a black border, but that's not very important. So I skipped that and just did a gold block. And then I went down and did it on each of the sides, so it looked nice. And then I started making just some random thing that popped into my head, which was like a weird like texture, like not a texture but like a pattern. So I did one in the corner and one every other block to like just see what that would make. And then I used the terracotta to fill in the gap, which ended up making quite a nice like cross pattern, which isn't accurate or what I meant to do, but it just kind of looked nice. So yeah, it all went quite well. And then I think I wrote about it saying this pattern was not supposed to happen, but it looks nice, so I'll keep it. And then from here I get some, I think coal. Was it coal? I think it was. Where I started building the clock, because the clock is surrounded by black. So I just used coal because I feel like coal is what you would use for something like that. And there were some slight issues with this, but it actually went pretty well, considering I just sort of placed blocks that looks right. And then I copied it on the top. And yeah, I think it might get a bit awkward doing it on all the sides, because this side, although it was kind of easy, what it did sort of take a while, and it was kind of a bit awkward at times. So yeah, we'll have to see. And also the like edges, like so obviously you've got this front side and then the back side, which is like mirrored, but then the other two sides on the left and the right are obviously a different length, so I might have to build a slightly different sized clock. Can't remember how far. I think 24 blocks the front and the back are, but then the in between blocks were just random, so I have to count them up and work it out. So for the clock, I just built the same sort of pattern on each side, which, as I say, did work, but then at the end there was a slight bit that didn't work, which I still can't work out how, because I'm pretty sure I did build it like accurately, but yeah, you'll notice in a second that it's a bit wonky, even though I built it accurately, as I said. But yeah, maybe because it's slightly off centre, maybe that's the problem, but I don't know. So yeah, it's nearly joined up. Nothing seems wrong yet, but somehow between it being nearly joined up and then joined up, it goes wrong, which is what this problem is here, because this side is, I guess, the right side, and then this side is the wrong side, because as you can see there's like two extra blocks next to each other that I can't work out how it got there. So then I have to shift the whole clock one way, sort of, but then that doesn't look right. So then I have to build it down like a staircase, and then make the bottom bit the same size. And then add, yeah. So that's that bit that looked a bit dodgy, which meant the top bit was also a bit dodgy. So yeah, I think it might have just been because it's slightly off-centred, because it is like an odd centre, like an odd block that doesn't match. But yeah, that's the clock, like the main clock. and then I fill in all this gold bit with the gold. I do add some colour to it in a second, like at the end. And then after I've done all this, I then work out what type of white should I use to actually build the clock itself, which I use just a normal quartz, which I think that's also normal for a clock in Minecraft to be made out of quartz, because it's like perfectly white compared to like white wool, which isn't really white, and well, I guess it is, but it's not like totally white. And then there's different versions of quartz which had weird like grey textures on it and everything like that, so I just got smooth quartz, but I got them all out just in case, and then lined them up next to each other just in case I change my mind. So that's me now, just like going along. So that's kind of okay, that's more grey. This one's alright. That one's got weird stripy bits. That one's got weird like symbols. That's the alright one. That one's got actual like bricks. This one's iron and it's got lines on it. And that one's alright. So yeah, I kept just the regular quartz and filled in the clock with that. Which went very quick. And it looks quite good. I'm very proud of myself. And then yeah. And then from doing that, I then go back into like the inventory and try and find what block could I use to make the like clock shape. And at first I was like, ooh, a good idea, banners. But then banners didn't work, because at first they worked with like the arrow, not the arrow, the hand going down. But then because it's like a portrait object, when it goes like left or right, it stays the same, if that makes sense. So it didn't work. And then I found chains, which I've never used in Minecraft, but they also didn't work because they were like too 3D. So I start placing the banners and they look really good, like completely what you want them to be. And I test out the chains, but they didn't work, and I tested out that and they sort of worked. And I start placing the banners, and then I'm like, what about building that way? And obviously you can't, because it won't work. And then I spend some time just sort of trying to work out what I'm doing. And yeah, I end up using, I think, these what do you call them, like fences. I think it's netherrack possibly, or something. All these blocks in Minecraft, I don't know what they all are. And now I just sort of build a generic time, because I don't know. And that's it, sort of, because I couldn't really add any detail to the actual clock face, because I didn't know how, really. And I added some more like shades of terracotta to the gold, and then I like copied it on every side to sort of look like a real pattern. In real life the pattern's obviously a lot better, but obviously can't do that in Minecraft. And yeah, so I go around the edge and do that at the tops and bottoms. And then at this point I think I move on to building around the other edges, only like the bottom bit where like the glass is, because I couldn't be bothered to build another clock in one day. Like, it was just too many clocks. Although I guess now I've already built sort of the start, in the next videos, whenever they'll be, I'll be able to just like, I guess, build maybe at least 2 clocks in one video, and then maybe the third one outside a video. We'll have to see, because I feel like it might just be an unnecessary video when you've already watched me build it once. So yeah, as I say, quite a long video in real life, so you're seeing a really short, speedy version. But yeah, I think for like 40 minutes, or just about 40 minutes, I did quite okay. Just got a missed call. That's just come up on my phone, even though no phone call actually went off. Who's been calling me? Oh, it's one of those like suspicious companies. That's probably why. So yeah, I get some fences, and yeah, I try and copy sort of the front part, but then because the edges are built slightly at a different size, it didn't fully work, so I sort of just did what I could do, and they actually ended up looking okay. Shockingly, when I did this with the building of Buckingham Palace, it didn't go as smoothly, so maybe I need to just work on building more sort of compact buildings rather than like really big ones that I clearly can't build properly. Because this is the 3rd official big sort of landmark I've ever built in Minecraft, because I originally built I always forget what it's called. I feel like I've talked about this before. It's like the Opera House in London, the Royal Albert Hall, possibly. I don't know. It's like some place. And I built that, which I did have videos of. I don't know if I still have videos of, but I used to. And then I built obviously Buckingham Palace, which didn't really work. And then now I've got this, so yeah. But I built the Royal Opera House or whatever years ago, like when I was like still at school, like when I was still a child. Like I would have been like I don't know, like in not year 6, what am I on about, probably like year 9, so like 13, 14, which would have been 2017, 2016, I don't know. Like I found that certain amounts of time passes and it's like you physically can't remember. But I don't know, I was definitely very much in secondary school, and I wouldn't have been in year 7 and I wouldn't have been in year 10, so I'd feel like I was. I'm trying to think, because I stopped making videos originally when I was like in year 10, but then I stopped in year 9 as well. Maybe it wasn't year 9, maybe it was year 8, I don't even know. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I've already overrun it, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.